Welcome back to the channel at Jaden Chase. Now if you're new, remember to like, to share, and also to subscribe. Now Canadian farm workers both still on the program and farmer members of the program are saying to play the rest of the voice note. Some are stating that the conditions being faced by farm workers overseas is something need to be known by Jamaicans. They are also exposing liaison officers who they believe are being paid by farm owners to look the other way. When I hear what go on, they will continue reasoning. Look and listen.
Empowered if you get the government of Canada to grant us status. You have people coming here all 20 and 30 a year, Andre, and they can't get that even status to stay here. Then come all then do come here, come work in the mud and water and go back at them yard. Every season. You understand? And there is nobody in the government of Jamaica we stand up for we and represent we. Nobody. I was so disappointed to hear Mr. Samuda come here and come say, when him come to Canada, and have toured the farm them, he don't see nothing jump out for him as we are saying. So what he's saying that we are lying, and we are not lying. The bosses, the employers, they abuse us. My employer, look on we, call we shit Jamaican guy. If we make a mistake, when we just start travel on the farm, you know say, we don't really understand for them farm settings because we're born in a farming. But for them farm work thing kind of different from our own. And if he send we to do something or we make a mistake, he discriminate us. And there's other guys, other people here in Canada, all over in Canada, Andre, that are going to abuse. But they are afraid. We are not there. We are all afraid to come forward sometimes to say things because it put food on our table and most people afraid them lose because all the bosses stay now if them find out say you say anything, they drop you off the program, them blacklist you, they don't take you back, and them team up with the liaison them too. Because the liaison them have people out in Jamaica right now where if you make a mistake, they can just red ink you and just take who them want to take because there are people in line waiting. So it is very difficult. It is very difficult and it is very bad that the government of Jamaica take up the man them and send them up to Canada. They are going to abuse and no response for them after, and we have to pay how much taxes. We have to pay this. We have to pay that. Them a benefit out of everything what we are do. Because if we come here, we have to spend money. We benefit the government back in Jamaica and all of that, Andre. So I just wanted to use your platform to put this across. Andre, because there's nobody not reaching out to us. Sometimes the Migrant Alliance for Change people them so much time them try to reach the major media houses back in Jamaica and no response from them. You understand? So we are going through it and there's nobody to stand up for us. And I saw that you're doing wonderful things with your platform. So I'm asking you to try put this across for us. Put this across for us. TVJ and CVM, they won't take up how much time the people them, the MWAC people them call them. We are suffering in Canada. We are coming here because the Jamaica economy is so bad and things like that. So we are coming here because it is like much better when we come here and work the money and come back home. We are suffering in Canada and undocumented people in Canada here suffering also. So the government of Jamaica not doing nothing. And Mr. Holness need to come out. Mr. Holness, I know Mr. Holness have knowledge of this because it reached Jamaica from last year, the open letter about the systematical slavery reached Jamaica. Mr. Holness, I don't hear Mr. Holness open him out. As the leader of the country, I don't hear him open him out. So I'm asking you to put this across. Thank you.
Now, truth be told, there's no denying the fact that the Canadian work program, the American work program, and even the European work program set to be put back in place very soon are good opportunities. The thing is, with capitalism, or with companies, farms, you name it, trying to be cost efficient, most are seeking ways to spend less and earn more. And one of the reasons why they are seeking workers from overseas in the first place. We have even heard statements from farmers in Florida saying that these new laws put in place by the governor of Florida has impacted agriculture. He's saying that the workers from the states seem to be unable to work the long hours required for the harvesting and even to just maintain these farms. And they're saying that these farming communities are dependent on overseas workers. Dependent on overseas workers are the same thing in Canada. These farm owners will tell you, if the overseas workers not show up or not show up on time, it impact the entire season. Now, while I've also point out this, not every farm worker experiences the same situations. Some will say living conditions are for them problem. But they must say, yo, the people them treat them alright. People them pay them fair wages and them get them hours. Some people say the living conditions alright. They might get paid fair wages and they might get them hours. But there are levels of disrespect. And workers are expected to work long hours. And when they take a break that are put in place by the state of Canada, it's almost as if workers are being frowned upon. Now talk to me in the comment section. Do you feel like the state can do about this? Some are also asking, why is it that overseas countries can make so much from agriculture, but them can employ workers, and local farmers can hardly make the money where them need? And the same agriculture, and people would say, especially people from overseas. Remember, we have a large number. We have whole heap of people from overseas. Whole heap of people from overseas. We're forward at Jamaica. Them say them prefer the fresh produce from the islands. So my time them I wonder why the produce is not being exported on a higher level. Because keep in mind, produce is being exported. This is not foreign territory. The state knows this. There are produce that is exported overseas, but not just the quantity what we need for export. We still living at the quantity or grow we need for supply Jamaican demand. Some people would be surprised to know. Some of the things that them actually feel like are produced from Jamaica is actually produced from overseas. A regular people buy Irish potato and feel like these Irish potatoes were grown on the Jamaican island. No, they were sent there by Canada. Harvested by Jamaican farm workers. So maybe the island needs to step up its agriculture production too. Seeing the billions that is being generated from agriculture. It's almost as if the only sectors on the island that do very well are sectors that receive international investment. The mining sector does very well because majority of the mining companies are owned by overseas investors. The tourism economy does very well because majority of these hotels are owned by corporations that are overseas. Of course, there are local hoteliers, but the big hotels are owned by big groups and big corporations from overseas. So you see the level of investment. So I guess they are still waiting on a big investment for agriculture. And the only way some people can look on it. Because only then do we then hear about the government grants being granted to these sectors. Because there are certain grants granted to the tourism sector and certain grants granted to the mining sector because of the amount of tax dollars, the amount of money we generate and the amount of money we it pay in the taxes. Agriculture can be a big sector too. Talk to me in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, support through the subscribe icon, then the bell icon. Now, until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours is, of course, for to live, love, and prosper. For to stay tuned.